Hello, everybody. My name is Makai Thomas. Today, I'm going to be doing my presentation on the topic of how harmful is social media. With the times moving on along in electronics, just growing as the day goes on and on. I wanted to kind of shine a light on this because I've known some people that maybe uh, have got the worst end of the harmful social media side rather than the positive. So I just kind of wanted to shine a light on this. Um, let's get into it. So, first slide, have you ever found yourself mindlessly scrolling on social media? I'm not gonna lie, I am definitely guilty of this. You could see yourself or myself on maybe Instagram or TikTok Reels. I'll just randomly get on it, and then boom, an hour passes, and I'm still just scrolling. Just time just left me. It's pretty common, but I did want to say we maybe mindlessly think of this, but realistically, the it's causing us more harm than we possibly maybe think. But I did want to get into, did you know that it can also be associated with the attention span loss, sleep loss, and depression and or anxiety? Now we can get into some negative impacts that could come with the mindless scrolling. Let's see. Yeah, so some negative impacts that come with overly using social media, of course, is going to be anxiety, stress. It could bring some phobias. It is closely associated with depression and then maybe some panic. Um, with the recent technological advancements, people have been using their phones, computers, tablets, and just been using their screen time way more than usual, like in past years, maybe about 15 years ago. I I came across a study of just a group of generalized people around the ages of 18 to 24. Um, they recorded using social media on average at least 3 hours a day, or 3 hours out of 24 hours of the day. Um, and that's pretty hefty if you think about it. You could say if you work maybe 8 hours and then you have school for or you're studying for 2 hours and you're sleeping for another eight, that three is a little bit more than you is a little bit more than you think. And like I said, I do know a couple people that have a problem with overly using social media. I could say that they maybe check their social media accounts, if that's either TikTok, Instagram, X, anything. I would say maybe an hour hour, at least every hour or other hour of the day. People like this, they're of course going to suffer with sleep loss. Um, and then of course attention span aspects, and then we could get into attention span right here. So on this study that I found to my left, it's going to show how attention span has dropped from in the 2000s 12 seconds to 2013, at least 2013 it dropped from 12 to 8. The attention span of actual goldfish is 9 seconds. So currently, a goldfish is outdoing us for attention span, and it's associated with screen time. Um, and then also, I found another study that gives us the average daily screen time in the US. It was from 2014 to 2020. You could see kind of screen time on mobile is actually outdoing screen time on TV. I found a good bit of studies that pointed the reason to this being people maybe for the short term or the short rather than longer videos. Shorter videos, it gives you instant gratification. and it stimulates your brain with short content that social media typically offers, like with Reels or TikToks, something like that. So that could or is definitely a reason for screen time on mobile. And then, of course, just the innovation for mobile phones. You could do way more than you could in 2014 versus 2020 with your cell phone. Um, but a good bit of that would be because of social media. And while attention span kind of sound or maybe could sound like a smaller issue, it really is a big deal, especially with like some people's social lives or professional lives. It can cause like ADHD symptoms where your attention span just isn't there. Your mind is pretty much everywhere in one place, so you may have ADHD symptoms. It deters you from watching longer videos. Your brain isn't as as basically focused or just have the want to watch that video just because it's so used to being just stimulated by such shorter videos. And then also, of course, your academic or work decline can come from it, and that could be from either the sleep loss of staying up, um, or also just reduced brain power and just deep thought capabilities. You just couldn't get as much of a thought out. Let's see what we got. Another negative aspect that we're gonna look at is gonna be the comparison culture of social media. Here, let me move my face out the way so you guys can see. The comparison culture on social media is really heavy, really heavy. What I mean by comparison culture is maybe you look at your own life and you maybe don't see the full positives out of all the positives or all the good things that come to your life because you're comparing yourself maybe to a famous figure, a famous person. So you'll see their highlights on their Instagram accounts, and you'll compare your life, and you because you see that, and you don't necessarily engage in those activities, you may think that you have a bad life when in reality, your life is good. You just are comparing yourself to somebody that's not you, and maybe that person maybe would get, as you see on the picture on the right, this lady is sad that she's only getting 16 likes when this lady on the right is getting 97 likes, 80 reshares, and all of this. Maybe it with a lot of people, I could say it maybe make them feel less about themselves. Maybe makes them feel ugly or just not enough. Or like, why can this person get this and I can't? And that's just the brutal truth of what's going on social media with a lot of people. Um, of course, I just don't necessarily agree with it. You live your own life and have go through your own battles, but it's something that's happening in our world for sure. Also, another negative that's going to come with social media is, of course, it's been an issue since social media has been here way before social media has been here. Cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is still going to be strong on social media. The comment sections actually try to, of course, the comment sections actually try to limit cyberbullying as you can't comment certain like catchphrases or words anymore as you could in the past. So they have tried to limit it, so it has maybe come a little um a little lower, but it's still going to be there. You can, especially with role models, just anybody, trolls can comment anything, um and it's still active. People are really just getting just bullied on social media, and it's sad to say, but it is a negative connotation that comes with social media. But other than that, cyberbullying is going to be my last point of the negative impacts for social media. I'm not gonna lie, social media isn't. I know this is pretty much the negative impacts, but in all honesty, social media isn't all that bad. It just really depends on how you personally use it. Just maybe not binge scrolling for 2 hours, 3 hours a day. That was just my point of writing this, just to give you guys kind of a kind of insight of what binge watching and just social media just in all just have, or what possible negative impacts it may have on you or people around you. So maybe if you see something or somebody that's binge watching a lot, maybe give them some tips that I gave you guys. Thank y'all.